phones in silent mode. And visitors, please sign in. If you wish to speak under visitors' remarks, please fill out the form found in the foyer. State your name and address at the podium, as we must document all meeting business and remarks limited to 3 minutes. Tonight's invocation will be led by Pastor Mac Vaughn and followed by the pledges.
Gosh, look at all those smiling faces this evening. Isn't that great? Huh? If you're not smiling, smile. See? Didn't hurt, did it? Nope. All right. Well, let's pray. Today we gather with a shared commitment to amplify the voice of our community and to forge a brighter, more vibrant future for our city. Let us approach this meeting with courage, with innovation, and with unwavering dedication to service. Together we have the power to transform challenges into opportunities and dreams into realities. I call upon each of you to lead with boldness and listen with open hearts and to act with purpose. Let our decisions be guided by integrity, passion, and the unwavering belief that our best days are yet ahead. May this meeting be the catalyst for positive change, unity, and progress. Let us move forward with the confidence and the collective resolve to make our city the best it can be, dynamic, inclusive, and thriving for all. Thank you. In the mighty name of Jesus, our Christ, the Lord, to the kingdom of God, the Father, Son, and Holy Spirit. Amen.
Amen. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Under the Texas flag, I pledge allegiance to thee, Texas, one state, under God, one and indivisible.
Any remarks?
No, sir.
We'll begin with a couple of proclamations. First proclamation tonight will be recognizing Patriot Day, 9/11, Day of Service and Remembrance. Whereas 24 years ago, our nation experienced the loss of nearly 3,000 individuals on September 11, 2001, at the Pentagon in Arlington, Virginia, and the World Trade Center in New York City, and Shanksville, Pennsylvania. Whereas our military, law enforcement officers, firefighters, first responders, and other emergency personnel showed true heroism, and we remain forever grateful for their selfless courage in defense of our freedoms. These attacks targeted not only American citizens, but targeted the American principles and values of freedom, justice, individual liberty, and prosperity. The attacks on September 11, 2001 have permanently altered the course of our nation's history. By a joint resolution, Public Law 107-89, approved on December 18, 2001, the United States Congress designated September 11th of each year as Patriot Day. And by Public Law 111-13, approved April 21st, 2009, Congress requested the observance of September 11th as an annually recognized National Day of Service and Remembrance. And with each passing year, we pay tribute to those who lost their lives, honor the memory of those who selflessly sacrificed for others, and remember those forever impacted by this tragic event. Therefore, I, Burt Miller, Mayor of the City of Navasota, do hereby recognize September 11, 2025 as Patriot Day, a day of service and remembrance in the City of Navasota, and I encourage all citizens to observe this day with appropriate ceremonies and activities, and to observe a moment of silence beginning at 8:46 a.m. Eastern Standard Time in honor of those killed on September 11, 2001 in New York, Pennsylvania, and Washington, D.C. Next is a proclamation for Spirit Day for Color Brazos Valley Gold, Childhood Cancer and Awareness Month. Any of those who are here for this presentation, you can please come forward. Whereas childhood cancer is the leading cause of death by disease among children in the United States, with thousands diagnosed each year. Whereas September is recognized nationally as Childhood Cancer Awareness Month, to honor the lives lost, celebrate the courageous young fighters battling the disease, and support the survivors and their families. The City of Navasota is committed to increasing awareness, supporting research, and encouraging community action to improve the lives of children and families affected by pediatric cancers. The City of Navasota is proud to participate in the Regional Awareness Initiative, Color Brazos Valley Gold, uniting communities across the Brazos Valley to shine a light on childhood cancer throughout the month of September. We declare Monday, September 15th, 2025 as Spirit Day for Color Brazos Valley Gold and encourage residents, businesses, schools, and organizations to wear gold to show their support. Therefore, I, Burt Miller, the Mayor of the City of Navasota, do hereby proclaim September 2025 as Childhood Cancer Awareness Month and declare September 15th, 2025 as Spirit Day for Color Brazos Valley Gold. Signed this day, the 8th of September, 2025.
Thank you so much. On behalf of Adams Army and Color Brazos Valley Gold, we would like to present the City of Navasota with their own childhood cancer awareness flag. And we'd love to take a picture with it, if that's okay.
Absolutely.
Mike.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you so much. Really
Yes, sir.
appreciate it.
Yes, sir.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Good to meet you.
Would you like to say anything, or you're more than welcome to?
Yeah,
Yes. Sure.
So my name is Lindsay Boleen, and my son Adam was diagnosed with cancer at age 17, and we just really felt called to give back, and we've met so many wonderful families that are going through childhood cancers in the Brazos Valley, and there's not a lot of resources to really help those families where they are with making mortgage payments, just making ends meet. It's a lot of transportation costs between here and Houston and wherever your child has to go. So that's what we want to spread awareness and build a support network and just show these families that we're there for them and that we're cheering their kids on and that we just want to really shine a light on the cause. So thank you all so much. Really appreciate it. Thank you.
All right, sir.
Yes, sir. Mayor and council, we have a CIP update by our project manager, Matt Julian.
Good evening, Mayor, City Council. I am Matthew Julian, Project Manager. If you've been over towards the high school, you've seen that the new water tower is finally taking its full shape. There were some missing panels on Friday, but I think they got those installed, and they're still working on some fabrication, some welding on the inside. And they're looking at doing painting and coating of it next month. I did talk with the engineer this morning. He says they're about 50% done with the entire project, and what it looks right now is everything is on schedule. That's all I have for the tank as of now. The street maintenance project is starting to wrap up. All the asphalt is done. BPI crews did the final cleanup on Friday, and we are scheduling the final walkthrough and punch list to take place tomorrow, so we can close out that project. The fire hydrant replacement project is complete. Terabella Construction did come in and replace 4 fire hydrants. While they were here working on the one at Walmart, we discovered that leak is actually inside the fire hydrant, and something that we can actually repair ourselves at a cheaper cost. So we decided to ask them to replace another hydrant somewhere else in the city. And so they, as scheduled, they did Grimes and Turner. They did the one in Senior Circle, the one on Kevin Court, and then we added the one at Grimes and Woodrow Jackson. So we did have 4 total fire hydrants that were replaced. And we also sent 3 of our crew leaders in our utility department to a class last week that was strictly deals with valve and hydrant maintenance. So they had 3 days of classroom training and hands-on experience working with tools and different equipment. So they got some more knowledge on how to service these fire hydrants ourselves, do it in-house at a cheaper rate. So we look forward to seeing that be put to use in the next few months. The Brozick Street sidewalk project, the sidewalk alongside the creek is completed with the ramps. This week, they will be working on pouring the asphalt in between the ramp and the street and cleaning that up. They are still working with TxDOT on redesigning the north side sidewalk of the pedestrian bridge. They think they've got it worked out to where it will not impact that tree at all, which is good. And they finally have a approved design for the bridge. So I'm working with their engineer, trying to find out when that's going to get installed. And they are still working on our temporary ramp that we're asking for the south side. And then the TxDOT sidewalk project that will take place on West Washington from 3rd Street to 8th Street. As of now, the contractor is scheduled to begin work on October 6th. We do not have a date yet for when the intersection will be closed at the railroad tracks, but as soon as we know that, we will get that word out. I'm thinking it's going to be probably a month or so. I reached out today to find out when and where they're going to start, just so we let the customers know. And as soon as I have that information, I will pass it along. We did go door to door and spoke with the customers and the business owners in that area. And then we also held an open forum last Thursday for them to come. TxDOT was there. We had 3 residents show up and ask some questions, saw the plan, saw what the drivers are going to look like, had all their questions answered appropriately. So we feel good going forward with that project. And that is all the updates I have for tonight.
I've got a question, Matt.
Yes.
On the tower, water tower, on, let's see, east of town here. And when it's finished, is it gonna have the city of Navasota logo on it, or is it gonna have the install on it?
I think it's going to have City of Navasota and Harris Tire, maybe. We're actually working on a second design. We don't have the budget number for that yet, but we are looking at
Trying to get
incorporating both logos
Okay.
on the tower.
You done?
Yeah.
Two of each,
Two of each.
so that it'll be all the way around it.
Oh, okay. Yeah, cause sitting up in the stands on the home side, you know,
Gonna
I was
look
looking
good.
last night, I said, okay, that install will look pretty good here.
Northwest, yeah, right.
I do have a question. Is there anything that's going to be done? So
I can't really tell with the fence. This is on the sidewalk along the creek.
but when you get to that stop sign, if it's dark and maybe somebody is impaired a little bit, how do they?
I am fearful that someone will just drive straight right down the sidewalk because it's a really large, it looks almost like a roadway, and
People that are new, is there something we're going to do to help?
We shared that same fear because that is a 10-foot wide sidewalk along that creek. And if you're coming up Bruley, it's a straight shot. If you're coming down Neal, it's a straight shot. So I don't know that it was in the plans, but I know they are aware of it. and looking at options that can protect it from the vehicles and maintain the ADA compliance at the same time.
Somebody is looking.
It is on our radar. We're going to make sure that it's not going to be driven on. So, thanks so much.
Thank you, sir.
For the insurance system.
Boy Scouts are-
Got a fan club, doesn't
That's right.
it? Any reports from council on boards and commissions? Right. Some things coming up here on the calendar. We've got from September 9th through November 20th, after-school art with Joe at the Navasota Center. It's on Tuesdays and Thursdays for ages 9 to 10. And it goes from 6:30 to 7:30, again, at the Navasota Center. The 10th of September, which is Wednesday, I believe, the Chamber will be hosting their monthly Coffee with the Chamber. That will be at Classic Rock Coffee Company, and it'll be at 9 o'clock. And that same day, that evening at 6, will be a downtown retailers meeting at Hamer Speakeasy. On the 12th and 13th, this coming weekend, is Bubba Can Cook. That's coming up out at the Expo Center. Put on by Friends of Grimes County, who also do a lot of support to the city. So we want to encourage you to go out for that. The 13th of September is Farmers Market, and that's the library. And then the Daddy-Daughter Dance is at 6 on the 13th, $25 a couple. And you can go to navasotatx.gov to get signed up for that. And I believe they're also offering makeup and things for the girls. So if you want to participate in that, check that out. And the 15th of September, bead bracelet making at the library at 5:30. I can't read my own writing. Let's see. Oh, Family Fishing Day. That's coming up on the 20th. That is 9 a.m. to noon at Patu Pond. I believe they'll have hot dogs and what's that? And snow cones. And then that same day on the 20th at Martha's Bloomers is an artisan market from 9 to 2. Sip and Shop for the fall is downtown from 10 to 5. And then at Wildflower is Pickle Palooza from 11 to 5. So if you can't find something to do on the 20th out of all that, then just stay home, I guess.
On the 11th, it's Thursday, the Navasota Music Study Club is sponsoring a patriotic sing-along on the steps of the courthouse at 11 o'clock.
I got a feeling somebody mentioned that to you.
Yeah. Or
And-
else.
And the 24th of September is a knitting class at the Navasota Center at 10:30. And then on the 25th of September is Pokemon Club, and that's at the library at 4:30. Sure, I missed something, but there's lots of stuff going on, and you can go to navasotatx.gov and you can check out the calendar about all the things to do for all ages that are that the city's putting on. So.
Yes, sir. Thanks, Mayor. I also do want to just quickly recognize and thank our marketing and communications team for the excellent end to the Sounds of Navasota Summer Concert Series this past Saturday. The Joy Lux Band was here and delayed a little bit getting started because of the rain, but they had the concert nonetheless, and no rain fell during the concert. So it was a great time and looked like the audience really enjoyed it. And a great series this summer, and looking forward to those continuing and getting bigger and better and more folks attending in years to come. And then also I did want to mention, just as an informational note, there have been a delay the last couple months in utility bills getting delivered, and we've had some folks reach out to us. This this month's utility bills. I think folks have started receiving them as of today. They got in the mail a little late. They were mailed on Thursday, the 4th, which is a few days later than normal. The staff is looking at a couple other vendors that might be able to turn that in a more prompt time for us. And also they're looking at rolling out probably this week a paperless option for those residents that might be interested in receiving it electronically rather than waiting on the mail. So that there will be an announcement coming out. We'll put it on social media. We'll put it on the city website and probably put an insert in future utility bills for those that want to take advantage of the paperless option. So looking forward to that to help us serve the community more efficiently and continuing. So that's it. Thanks, Mayor.
Yeah, and you already can sign up for monthly draft. That's already in place. So
Correct.
That is also available. Item 5 is conduct a public hearing for purposes of receiving public comment on proposed budget for the City of Navasota 25-26. And we will open the hearing at 6:21.
So Mayor and Council, as we get ready to start the public hearing, before if any of the members of the public want to come up and speak, we certainly want to receive their comments. We also did want to make a few notices that of updates that we know will be forthcoming in the proposed budget book. If you've taken a look at it online, we will be updating it with what I'm about to announce, plus anything that the council after tonight's public hearing instructs us to make changes. So those will all get incorporated, and we'll do one updated proposed budget, so that will be out sometime this week, hopefully tomorrow, but depending on how many changes there are, could take a couple days. But we do know that as a part of the proposed budget book, when it was first compiled, there were a couple of things that were overlooked and just didn't get inserted in there. One of those was the new maintenance services department. So that departmental summary page will be included. The totals were there in the summary of totals for the general fund, but their individual department page was missing, so that will get inserted, as well as a consolidated fund summary. I see a couple faces in the audience that asked about those just today. So that will get incorporated into the proposed budget book, and we will have that consolidated fund summary for you if you're looking for that big picture of the overall total dollar amount. There were also a few other things that, again, were just kind of missed, or typographical errors that were corrected. There was an ongoing multi-year project for the fire department SCBA replacements. That $40,000 will be included in the voluntary fire donations fund. Also, we are making an update to that Fund 710, which is the voluntary donations fund. Previously, that fund balance was just lumped into the general fund. We're pulling that out now so that it makes it a little clearer, and you can actually see the account balances in those two voluntary donation accounts within Fund 710. So we'll be able to track that a little bit more efficiently and know exactly how much is in there for use. And then on page 19, police personnel summary page, there's one update that we're going to be making. In lieu of an assistant police chief, in lieu of replacing that with an assistant police chief, we're going to promote one of the sergeants up to lieutenant and have a command lieutenant that is in a supervisory role over the operations bureau, and then potentially promoting down the road or having career path for becoming an assistant chief. But we felt like a better step would be that first promotional rank of a lieutenant. So just changing those two out. And then there were a couple typos where dollar amounts were listed differently in the cover memo as opposed to in the back on page 78. There were a couple projects, one being the interior repairs at the library, updating that to reflect the $90,000 that's in the budget, and the AC replacements at the Navasota Center, updating that to $150,000. Again, just making those mirror what the number was that was in the memo at the front of the book. And then finally, there was a question during our last workshop about the general fund revenue for the Navasota Center rental. We had an estimate of only $7,000 for this year, which didn't look right to us, and that sure enough it wasn't. So that's been updated. It's actually $28,000 is the updated. And that might be a little low still. It might be a little north of that, because there are certain things that are just in there as deposits right now, and we don't really realize the revenue until the event occurs. So that if we have to repay the deposits, we're not actually having to withdraw it back out or take a debit back to that account. So right now it's looking like 28,000 on that one. So those are the updates that we know of, and anything else that we get instructed to change, we'll make those changes and get a proposed book prepared and out. So, Evan, did I leave anything out? Yes, fill me and remind me, because I don't have my notes in front of me. There was I forget the name of the granting entity.
I think it was Annis. Grant is for our marketing communications department. But it's balanced out for 10,000 for revenue and 10,000 for expenditures. And our grant funds, it should be a wash. But other than that, that's it.
It's an open hearing, so anyone wish to speak to the budget?
Robert, can you explain to us again about the no hire of any new city employees? But I think that we had 3 or maybe 2 that we did not fill last year that we will fill this year, or thinking about doing something. Can you explain that to us?
Sure. Hopefully I can remember it all off the top of my head. I'm not looking at that list in front of me, but you're correct. The proposed budget does not include any new full-time positions. It does include a conversion of 2 that were part-time in the current budget, and they transitioned to full-time in this proposed budget. That was the fire department's assistant chief, as well as what position at the library? The librarian. Was a part-time position. And then we also had 1 position in HR, an HR generalist, that was included in last year's approved budget, but the prior city manager moved the money and did some other things that were deemed at that time to be a priority, and the position was never filled. So we have included that position in this year's proposed budget as well. So those are the positions that weren't currently full-time filled positions, but are included in the proposed budget. Did I cover them all?
Yes.
Okay.
In this proposed budget, all employees will get the same amount of the 2%.
Cost of living?
Yes.
Yes, sir. The budget,
Or is it 2.5?
it's 2.5. Yes, sir. The budget is built on kind of a 2-pronged approach to personnel and benefits. At October 1st, each employee will get a 2.5% cost of living adjustment, or COLA. It's based on the consumer price index. And then we are about the same time, sometime early in October, we will be launching a salary survey to look at all of our positions citywide, evaluate those against the proposed pay structure that we have in there. Once we get those results in, right now, we're looking at maybe January or February, coming back to you all with the salary survey results and that structure, making any adjustments that might be needed, and then hopefully implementing that on or about April 1st, about the midpoint, 6 months into the fiscal year. So they would get a 2.5% now, and then something based on the salary survey results on or about April 1st, midway through the fiscal year.
I guess what I'm having a hard time figuring out, once we do the salary study, on the 2.5% on each employee,
Mhm.
when we do the salary study that comes back January, February, the 3 months prior, do they get paid back for that, or it just picks up once we do the salary study?
Right. The salary survey is going to be set such that it will target an April 1st implementation. So we will be looking at.
Start until April 1st.
Correct. Yeah, we'll be looking at what salary would be competitive in the market for each position on or about April 1st. The reason I say on or about is because that we're going to start it at the beginning of a pay period, and I don't know if April 1st is a first day of a pay period. So sometime around there at the beginning of the pay period. And then we do have, just as kind of highlights, if we don't have a lot of folks that want to speak on it, we do have also the changes to the retirement system. Our city currently offers a 5% retirement system contribution as the system currently, well, as of September 1st now, you can offer up to 8% in even 1% increments, so 5, 6, 7, or 8, and we're at the very bottom, which really puts us at a place as cities start to adopt that 8%, it would really put us behind the curve for offering competitive benefits, and it would be difficult for us to attract the high quality work that we want to have serving our community. And so we felt like it was important to make that investment. And so that is rolled into this proposed budget. And just kind of on the flip side of that, not really talking about the employees, but the residents, not only is there no increase to the tax rate, your property tax rate stayed the same in this proposed budget, as well as all utility rates were held flat and not increased in this proposed budget.
Okay, well, we will close the hearing at 6:32. Item number 6, conduct a public hearing for the purpose of receiving public comment on the proposal to adopt the tax rate for fiscal year 25-26. Open the hearing at 6:33. You want to just summarize the tax rate information just real quick?
So we're keeping our tax rate, this, like Mr. Hemminger said, 0.5078. The only difference is the maintenance and operations and the interest and sinking to be in proportion for our debt. But otherwise, we're staying the same this year, for tax year 2025.
Anyone wish to speak to this item? It's an open hearing. Okay, we will close the hearing at 6:34. Item number 7, consideration of possible action awarding a contract for the Public Improvement District, or PID, Administrative Consultant Services to Unicap Incorporated for the City of Navasota.
Mayor, Council, good evening. Lupe Diosdado, Development Services Director. Just to briefly summarize, the City of Navasota issued an RFP for Public Improvement District Administration Consulting Services back in July 23. The deadline was on August 25th, and the city received 2 sealed proposals. A scoring committee was formed, including myself, our Economic Development Coordinator, and City Manager. We reviewed the proposals. Both are really good proposals. However, ultimately, MuniCap did come out on top in terms of the scoring sheet and really experience provided. They provided a really good example, or multiple examples, I should say, of past work that they've done. I actually have it sitting over there on the counter. The one on the left is MuniCap. The one on the right is P3. That gives you a little reference. Had a little bit more reading material on the left with MuniCap. I do believe someone from MuniCap is here tonight. Jennifer. She's here if y'all have any questions on the specifics. But overall, I think it's just, as we continue to get conversations with developers on these special districts, having a consultant on board that is a specialist, subject matter expert in this area would really help staff out and ensure that the best interest of the city is looked at for each project. So again, if y'all have any questions, someone from MuniCap is here, and then our recommendation is to approve it with the final form to be approved by legal counsel and the city manager, since we have not gone through the rigmarole of reviewing the contract yet.
You want to give us just a quick summary on the background of kind of what got us to this point?
Sure. So really the big thing is a lot of developments have approached the city and say, hey, we would like to participate or have an opportunity to have special taxing districts. It's not even a taxing district really with PIDs. It's an assessment, right? So in order to make a lot of these projects pencil for the developers, they're needing sometimes special assessments to cover some of the costs of infrastructure. And so what PIDs do is they add an extra item on their tax bill that's an assessment. It goes away once it's paid. And of course, there's a lot of finance review, a lot of legal requirements that have to be made, reporting requirements. And so having a PID consultant helps the city administer those assessments and make sure that public notice is required, right? So anytime you buy a new home, if you're buying a new home in Navasota and it's in a subdivision that includes a PID assessment, the consultant will help us ensure that that buyer is getting that disclosure at the time of closing. So you're not surprised and, oh, there's actually 5 line items instead of just 4 or 3. And of course, all the back end reporting work that's required. So all in all, it's just a way to make sure that the residents are informed and that the city has good record keeping of those funds and who's paying, who's not paying, and what the end goal would be.
And I'm sure that you said this, but this is not an effort to put more taxes on people who are currently living in their houses throughout the city. This is for new subdivisions or?
Correct. Yes, sir. Yeah, this is only for new subdivisions and only for those that the developer requests a PID.
This basically just adds an extra bill, like a tax bill, and it's administered through the district, through the county assessor. And it's payment every year for 20 years or 30 years, whichever one, however we set it up. The city is not responsible in any way financially, right?
Correct. Yes. In a roundabout sense, yes, that's right. It is an assessment on that property owner, between the property owner and that PID agreement or development agreement.
I'm gonna offer just a little bit of background also, Mayor and Council, just as I know this is this community's first time to kind of walk through that. And one of the beauties of MuniCap and Jennifer is certainly here to answer any questions that you have for them. But I can tell you that MuniCap is, they will come on board as our PID administrator. They work for you all. You all will be the PID board, if you will, just like you're the city council. You will lean on them for their expertise and for their guidance. And if you want to consider cash flow funding a PID, where just whatever comes in is what goes out, they will manage that. If you want to consider issuing PID bonds at some point to help expedite the repayment to developers, they can walk us through that process as well. They've got experience doing both very adeptly. And so they'll be able to be your guidance, your counsel for giving that advice. They are a fiduciary, they are a financial advisor firm as well, so they can offer that kind of guidance that will help us make decisions as we go forward. And so I'm really pleased to see them coming on board for us, and look forward to getting some good advice as we have developments that do take off. And as Councilman Gessner said a moment ago, it is true that if we issue bonds down the road, if we issue PID bonds, they are separate from general obligation bonds or certificates of obligation that the city secures. They are secured only by the PID assessments. It would be very rare, but there is a potential for them to default because they're secured by an assessment and not necessarily a tax. It's not seen as quite as secure as for instance, a MUD tax or a city tax secured bond. So generally, PID bonds get a slightly higher interest rate that they have to pay, but that is for that relative risk to the bondholder. Again, that's a conversation that we will have, and we will get some expert guidance from Unicap as we go forward if we even want to consider debt issuance for these projects. So just wanted to kind of offer that as a little background as well.
And from what I understand, some of the developers that you're currently talking to know that this is kind of going on, and that
They're very much aware, yes,
Yeah,
sir.
and
They are looking forward to having this in place.
and they are familiar with
Absolutely.
them already, so it's not going to be something new to them.
Back to the question that Bernie asked, is the cities is gonna be paying for this company?
No, sir. No, all of their fees would come from the PID assessments.
Okay. And then one other question here, Lupe, on your scoring sheet, looks like you've got 3 questions there, but I can't make those numbers come out to somewhat balanced. So did y'all have a number that you would give a certain certain question that when it was asked or something that?
My Excel may have been broken. Did they not equal what the total was at the bottom?
Well, no, I'm just going straight across. I'm not going down to the bottom.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I mean, like line item 1, I mean, based on, it's to demonstrate the ability to provide the scope of services. As I mentioned previously, Municap provided an extensive amount of examples of their work. And really, I mean, the scoring committee, it is 3 heads coming together and figuring out what point we're going to give them. And based on the proposals that we received, that's where the points came from, right? Is the scoring committee deciding, yeah, this company is just a little bit better, or they provided more ability to provide these services and examples, right? Because we're only going off of what they provided, right? The sealed proposal. So that was the case for number 1. Number 2, experience and references. Again, we felt that Municap provided a little bit more information for us to make that call. And then the fees, actually Municap was a little less than P3, mainly because they are a little bit pricier on prices. But as Robert mentioned, that doesn't impact the city because all those fees are paid by those assessments. So it was just really a way to line out the total scores, and it just came out that Municap had a little bit more to offer us.
Mr. Mayor, I move that we approve the awarding the contract for Public Information District Administrative Consultant Services to Municap Incorporated for the city of Navasota, subject to the final form approved by the city manager and legal counsel.
Second.
Motion by Mr. Gessner, second by Mr. Fultz to approve the PID Administrative Consultant Services to Municap. subject to the final approval with the city manager and legal counsel. Any further discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? None, item carries.
Thank y'all.
Item 8, discussion and possible action on grazing lease agreement for the closed landfill site.
Mayor, City Council, Mike Myers, Chief Police. Bringing forward the annual grazing lease contract. This is the property off County Road 415, the old city dump. It's about 25 acres that is just around the PD range and so forth that's not being used. And we have, for probably a little over 5 years, leased it out to the neighbor, Miss Wood, who runs her cows through there and handles the grass. Approximately $30 an acre is what we lease it for, so it comes out to about $750 a year. We did talk to Miss Wood. She does want to renew the lease. She just hasn't been up here to sign the paperwork yet.
I've got one question now, and I think it's to the legal counsel.
Yes, sir.
On something like this, do we have to open it up for bids?
No,
If there's a agreement?
No, sir. Whenever you're leasing property, you do not have to bid it. If you're selling property, there's a bid process or, unless there's an exemption that applies. But in this case, when you're leasing property, there's no requirement to go out for RFPs or any sort of competitive process.
Okay. And one other question that, when I read through it, it said about third parties, if we would allow third party that the city would have the right to send a third party in to use the property, just say that the city gives someone approval to go in and hunt, and they was to kill one of the cows or something, who's liable?
What section are you referring to?
I just remember that. It's on the contract there. Let's see,
I know there's a prohibition against the tenant allowing somebody to hunt or fish on the property. Is that the section that you're referring to, Councilmember?
what was it?
There's a provision that prohibits the tenant from allowing others to hunt or fish on the property. So I don't know of any.
It's on page 4, I think.
It's on page 4, yes.
The
Number
release of
6.
claims.
Okay, release of claims. Yeah, that's not what I.
Number 6, that's under tenant agrees not to assign the lease or sublease any portion of the premises. Is that what he's talking about?
I'm not sure. So are you, you're concerned about, third parties coming onto the property? I think.
Yeah, I didn't make a note here on it, but I read it somewhere in here
There it is, on page 7.
on page 7.
Yeah, page 20, item 21. Landlord retains the right to permit third parties to use the premises for hunting, fishing, and other uses that do not materially interfere with tenants' grazing rights.
Yes.
Are there any plans to allow that?
No.
I suggest we just strike that if there are no plans to allow that, if the council's okay with that.
Yeah, we've never had anybody allow them to go out there. Just
Sure, I wasn't aware of that occurring. I think you would have the right as property owner to allow that, but I don't know why you would. In this situation, I think it does increase your potential liability if there is some damage that's, as you say, if there's, some livestock that's killed by somebody that the city allows to hunt on the property, then I think that's a real risk. Then you get into the arguments over the facts and, whether they were acting negligently and those sorts of things. So in my opinion, it would be better just to not allow that kind of activity to occur at all.
And say that again, because it looks like page 3B, tenant agrees not to, And then number 8, hunt or fish on the land or allow anyone else to do so.
That's in it, but the landlord can. We are.
Item 21
They can't, but
says
we can.
The city can allow that,
The
yeah.
city can,
Yes. So,
but then it can't.
Tenant can't.
so I do understand your concern. I think it would be best just to, if the council is agreeable to delete that provision from the lease agreement. Actually, looking at this item, if the concern is hunting and fishing, you may want to retain the right to, and I think you would even without this provision in here, you may want to retain the right to allow somebody to get on the property to, I don't know, install, I don't know, some sort of, if there's some improvement that they need to make that, and go across the city's property, or if you need to allow them on the property to test for something, if the city's considering selling the property at some point. So you do want to have the right to allow somebody to come on the property for other purposes other than hunting and fishing. So I think the way to,
Carrie, would it be appropriate just to reword that to say landlord retains the right to permit third parties to use the premises for any uses that do not materially interfere with tenants' grazing
Correct.
rights?
yes,
Got the hunting and fishing.
yeah. and strike
Change that, just take the clause hunting, fishing, and other and change to the word any.
Yes, that would work.
And you all would be the decider of that. If we needed to give someone rights, you all would decide that. And so, because
Yes, sir.
we just don't know what the future holds. If there is something that we need to give someone the permission to go out there and do something, we just keep it in the agreement that we have that right, but we certainly don't expect to authorize anyone to go out there and hunt.
And no one that you're aware of has come along and asked to lease it for $100 a month or something.
No. Her property butts up right next to it.
Just, we're not losing.
Right.
Nobody's asking for it.
Mr. Mayor, I move that we approve the lease agreement with Mildred Wood for grazing purposes at the closed landfill site for $30 per acre annually, with the exception of item 21 in the contract to delete for hunting, fishing, and other uses. Or hunting and fishing.
And allow any uses approved by the council.
And allow, right.
You got that, Susan?
Yes, sir.
Motion by Mr. Holt, second by Mr. Fultz. Yeah. Let's see, yeah. For the lease agreement with the amendment as stated. Any further discussion? All in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed? See none, item carries. Item 9, consideration of possible action on a contract between the City of Navasota and Weisinger Incorporated for $143,945 for the purchase of materials and associated items related to the emergency repairs to the water well number 5, located at 9880 Industrial Drive, as authorized by Section 252.022A3, Texas Local Government Code, as a procurement necessary because of unforeseen damage to public machinery, equipment, or other property.
Good afternoon, Public Works Director Jennifer Reyna. Utility staff detected vibrations coming from the water well number 5, and as a result, we decided to hire Weisinger to remove the pump for inspection. They also conducted a video for the well. The inspection for the well kind of revealed that we had scale buildup within the screen openings in the liner. Also, it was noted that the pump bearings were worn. So we had them provide some recommendations back to us. It was recommended that we do a rehab on the well and replace the pump and its equipment within the well. This is probably normal wear on a well like this over time. This well was drilled in 1981. So this is typical wear on a water well of this age. So I'd like to recommend that we go ahead and do the repairs on the well and replace the pump along with the equipment for that pump in the amount of $143,945 to Weisinger Incorporated. I do have BJ here tonight. He is with Weisinger. If you have any technical questions, he can answer any of those as well.
Jason, being this late in the year, is this budget, is this budget amendment, or?
It was budgeted in last year's budget to perform an inspection on well number 5. So it was part of last year's budget.
Oh, man, I'm sorry, I called you Jason. I'm sorry.
I've been called worse, but not by much.
So yes, sir, it was budgeted for last year's budget. We did look at everything. We do have a balance in there, remaining balance, so we're okay on as far as the budget goes. Do y'all have any questions?
Mayor, Council, just to clarify, the agenda refers to an emergency purchase. This is not, this would not be considered an emergency, but it does fall within the exemption for unforeseen damage to public machinery and equipment. So I just want to clarify that should you choose to make a motion, if you'll just leave emergency out of the motion, that would be helpful.
Okay.
But the wording of the law that I put in there was stated correctly.
Correct.
I shouldn't have added it was an emergency prior to that, correct?
Exactly. Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
That's correct.
Yes, sir. The well is currently down. I do want to add that as well.
And where's this well located at, Jennifer?
On Industrial Drive?
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Number 5? Okay.
Yes, sir.
I have one technical question. I recommend the following actions: wire brush the screens and liner, jet the fill and debris, and agitate chlorine. What is jet the fill?
Jay, when you go in and brush the screens to get the, get them, gonna mechanically clean them, open them up, make them look good, that accumulates fill in the bottom of the well.
Okay.
So we go in after that and, remove it by jetting. And the chlorine afterwards is just to give it the well a good disinfection before the pump is placed back in the well.
Okay.
Pump is on the bottom or the top?
The pump?
The bottom?
No, depending on the well, for all different shits, the pump is set where they anticipate the pumping level to be.
Mm-hmm.
So it's basically in the middle of the well.
Oh, okay.
It is set inside the liner. So just as well 4 was,
Okay.
that I'm familiar with. So, yeah.
We had good water in that well, right?
Who said it? What's sir?
We had good water in that well.
I believe so.
Yeah.
No, don't think y'all have ever had any issues with, other than maybe,
A motor?
yeah, I'm talking about, you have a little iron, I believe, a little bit of iron bacteria and stuff like that, but it's minimal. Y'all actually pumping the aerators, right? Yeah.
Mhm.
So it's common. Y'all have pretty good water.
And Jennifer, we've worked with them before on other projects, so.
Yes, sir. For quite a bit of projects, well number 4, 7. Now don't hold this against him, but he did pump number 8 on the east side, but
Well, I didn't drill it. No. No, yeah. It didn't turn out as well as everybody thought it would.
Yeah,
like,
yeah,
Or anticipated.
right.
Yeah.
You didn't drill it, huh?
Okay. Whatever y'all,
Thank
y'all got
you.
any more questions?
I think we're good. Thank you.
Yes, sir. Thank y'all.
Thank you.
I'll entertain a motion with the word emergency taken out.
Needed repairs.
I'll move.
Motion by Mr. Fultz. Need a second.
Second.
Second by Mr. Gessner, to act on a contract between the city of Navasota and Weisinger for $143,945 for the purchase of materials and associated items related to the repairs to the water well number 5 at 9880 Industrial Drive. Any further discussion? All in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Seeing none, item carries. And I assume you can start right away, pretty quick.
They tell us to, I mean, we gotta get. Like, I believe I told Jennifer 3 to 5 weeks, 3 to 4 weeks. To, should be back online. No issues.
Thank you. Item 10 is the consent agenda, which consists of the minutes for August 2025, municipal court report for August 2025, and the expenditures for the month of June and July 2025.
Mr. Mayor, I move that we approve the minutes and municipal court report for the month of August and the expenditures for the months of June and July 2025.
Motion by Mr. Gessner, second by Mr. Fultz to approve the consent agenda.
That's my line.
Any further discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? None, item carries. And with that, we're adjourned.